Afternoon everyone and welcome to my tutorial. So we are asked here about the question coming from the probability, which is a unique type of a question. So we are asked to say Mutola and Mwami were to be selected as members of a netball team. The probability of selecting Mutola is 7 over 8 and that of selecting Mwami is 9 over 10. Then we are asked to say find the probability that only one of them is selected. Now, the thing is that the probability of selecting Mutola or Mwami has nothing to do with the other. If both of them at the end of the day, they can be rejected. Therefore, it is important for us to take into account what is the probability of not selecting each of them individually. So we are saying to say the probability of selecting Mutola is equal to 7 over 8 and the probability of selecting Mwami is equal to 9 over 10. So now, we are asked to say, find the probability that only one of them is selected. They only require one of them. So how do we do that? First, we need to find the probability of choosing Mutola and the of not choosing Mutola, as well as the probability of not choosing the other one. So what are we going to do? So this is what we are going to do. So we have the probability, let's say the probability of selecting Mutola plus the probability of not selecting him according to probability. The outcome should always be equal to 1 because there is a possibility that that person is not selected. So the probability of selecting Mutola plus the probability of not selecting Mutola is equal to 1. Now, what does that mean? So we are going to plug in. We have 7 over 8 plus the probability of not selecting Mutola should be equal to 1. Collecting the right terms, we have the probability of not selecting Mutola should be equal to 1 minus 7 over 8. So when we subtract this, we are getting an 8. We have 8 divided by 1, that's 8. We have 8 here minus 7 to give us 1 over 8. So this one is the probability of not selecting Mutola. If that is the probability of not selecting Mutola, then we also need to find the probability of not selecting Mwami. So we have the probability of selecting Mwami again plus the probability of not selecting Mwami should be equal to 1. So the probability of selecting Mwami, we have 9 over 10, then plus the probability of not selecting Mwami, which is equal to 1. Collecting the right terms, we have the probability of not selecting Mwami should be equal to 1 minus 9 over 10. So when we subtract this, we are finding out that we are getting a 1 over 10. So when you do that, you are going to find that it's 1 over 10. So now that we know that there is the probability of not choosing each one. So what are we going to do? How does this help us? So now we can finally answer the first question, which says that only one of them is selected. So mind you, there is the probability that only one is selected, meaning to say if one is selected, the other one should not be selected. Therefore, we are going to say the probability of one selected so the probability of having one selected, it will be equal to the probability of selecting the first one, Mutola, times Now when you select Mutola, it means to say there is no need for you to select one because only one can be selected. So times we have the probability of not selecting one. Then we have this, then we are going to add. There is another probability in which we can select one but not select Mutola. So therefore we are going to add the probability of selecting one. Now if you select one, it means to say you are not selecting Mutola times the probability of not Mutola. So with that we are going to add. So we have the probability of selecting Mutola. We have the original one, 7 over 8. We have 7 over 8 times the probability. If you choose Mutola, you will not choose 1b, of which that is equal to 1 over 10. So we have 1 over 10. Then we have plus the probability of selecting 1b, which is equal to 9 over 10. So we have 9 over 10 times the probability. If you choose 1, you will not choose Mutola. So we also have the probability of not selecting Mutola. We have 1 over 10. So the probability of not selecting Mutola, here it is 1 over 8. So with that we are going to add them. So we have 7 times 1, we have 7 over 8. So allow me to transfer here. We are going to continue. We have 7 over 80, then plus we have 9 over 80, like this. If that's the case, we can add. So we have this by this is equal to, the common denominator is 80. Here we are going to have 7 plus 9. So we have a 16 over 80. So due to the fact that I don't have a calculator, I'm going to leave my answer here, but you can go further using the calculator. So looking at that, we have answered the first one, which is the probability of just selecting 1. So the probability of selecting 1 is equal to 16 over 80. Then, if you are looking at the second one, none of them is selected. So none of them is selected. We are going to get the probability of not selecting Mutola and the probability of not selecting 1b. So we are going to say probability of none should be equal to not 1b times not Mutola. So with this, we are going to find out that we have the two probabilities, which are 1 over 8. We have 1 over 8 times. We have 1 over 10. So when we multiply them, we have 1 over 80 as the outcome. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope you will subscribe and follow for more.